So this is a timber bridge we built last year to access that side of the property. Got a whole bunch of videos on it. And it's held up pretty well. It's about time to come back. We let this dry out the rest of the way because these are the trees we cut down. But we've had a problem, and we'll try to fix this today. This log that goes across from this side to that side has these cables underneath. Kind of ties everything together. Well, it broke right along there. One, the log I used wasn't the best. The other thing is that one was buried underground. I thought wrapping it, putting some stone in it with a tile would kind of keep it protected, but that didn't really work. So the new plan is rake all that out, leave it exposed to the air, like this side is. We haven't had any issues with it since it's been put in. Up in the air like that. And then we're going to weld up some approach ramps on both sides. Get this cable undone. We're gonna go cut down a black locust. About the same size, that's what we're gonna end up using. A black locust should do us pretty good. Be a lot more durable than what this was, which was a standing dead ash tree. I used it because it was what we had at the time. I'm just gonna give her a few test hits real quick on that log. There are some screws down into it. I'm not optimistic that we'll be able to get those out without breaking them. So I'm just gonna, let's see what some taps do. You know, let's just experience science. It's science now. Well, this side wasn't much better, was it? I guess we better try to go get something and see if we can't get those backed out. Make it a heck of a lot easier, but you saw that side broke right off too. Been working on the trade-up series, by the way. Things are actually going pretty well, just waiting on some parts. This situation isn't going as great. I'd be very surprised if the impact got them out. I did bring a ratchet on the off chance that might do it too. This is what we're dealing with. So we got these. You can see there's that. Runs through that board through that, and I'm assuming probably catches that log a little bit. And then we've got these T30s that also run down into that as well. We are going to be on the bridge for a little bit, by the way, because I want to go ahead and get railings on and everything. I want this thing to be ready and done. That went better than I expected. And it smells like gear oil because I dipped these in gear oil whenever I put them in, so maybe that kind of helped them come out. Look how much the threads of the hardwood messed up those threads. Isn't that wild? All right, that one not so much. Seems like it's moving. Yep. Righty-loosey. That's the way I like it done. All right, well, 50-50 so far. Well, that one's already broken. So we got that going for us. Try this T30 over here. So this side came out really well. promising sounds. Oh, you know what? So they're thinking that's way harder than it should be, and I remember why. We're missing something crucial here. Anything living under here? Any animals? Nothing hibernating? That's good. Hold on. You got it. Grab this old. Look at this tree trying to come back. Kind of cool. Look at all the bolts we got on the back side of her, bud. That's gonna slow us down a little. Okay. What's going on there? Yeah, okay. It's probably better if we just don't look around. Yeah, that'll speed things up a bit. All right, okay. There's one adjustable toe strap in here. Isn't that what these are called? Isn't that right? What else would I be doing with it? You measure how wide that is for the tree I need. Luckily this time of year, it's tape measure season. There we go. Perfect. It's not the best pick though. I'd like for them to have the full case, but this time of year you can't, beggars can't be choosers. You get the ones you find. See if we can find us a, duck. Oh gosh. Briars, bud. See if we can find us a black locust we like. There's one right there. A little small though. That's like the perfect one right there. It's the first time his 55s ran in several months. Cracked the gas tank on the 372, so I'm waiting on a new tank to come in. But we'll see if she starts for us. Looks like we're pretty close. I'm just gonna scooch it uphill and dig down a little bit so we can kind of get it slid under there a little easier. The little 55 did pretty good though. Pretty happy with the way that thing performs. It's just a handy little saw. I'm glad I got it. I think if a fella saw another appropriately priced 55, he'd probably snag that. I had an Alaskan mill. I didn't like it. I hated it. I sold it. Did some videos on that. And I tried out a bandsaw mill for a couple months. Wasn't a huge fan of that either, especially where I lived. And I did a couple videos on that as well. When it comes to just doing quick things like this, that didn't take hardly any time at all, maybe 15 minutes tops. She's really close. There's just a bunch of little rocks and stuff. I'm gonna try to get that top started and then just see if we can't beat the dickens out of it. So this side is bottoming out down in that bottom corner. This isn't the cleanest cut. So it's pretty much as tight as it can go. Oh, that's okay. All right, here we go. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. You know, something lives in there for sure. Well, let's see. So we're pretty much up to the bracket on that one. That bracket's just spun around. Beat that bracket back up in place, but I think that's going to work. I think I'm pretty happy with where we're at on it. Now, a responsible person would use the remaining daylight to keep working on this so they can get some progress done, but I'm not that responsible. Mama's got steaks up there at the house. It's short sleeve weather, and we're going to grill out tonight for the first time in months. We're pretty excited about it. I'm a little nervous about how these approaches are going to weld up. I'm not quite sure it's going to work the way I want to, but we'll find out soon enough. So we got those snugged up and tightened in the way we want them. We'll still do some adjustment on the turnbuckle on this side. I need to tighten that turnbuckle up, but on this side I'm pretty happy with it. And I had a lot of people, whenever I built this thing, say those cables weren't going to do what I wanted them to do, which was provide a little lift from the bottom side to help support the center of these arches. Just to add a little strength. I want to show you what happened. These were sitting tight on these logs. As I tightened that cable up, the cable lifted these supports up, oh, probably 2 or 3 inches. Now I will agree, I do want to change this all thread out at some point. Probably from like here over. Weld on a piece of actual rod. That all thread probably shouldn't have bent it like that. So I do agree, wrong material, but the principle of the lift does seem to be proven. You can see I got those cables that come down, and as you tighten them, that pulls up, lifts up on the center beam we've got, which lifts up on the center of the bridge. And then these outer logs are slight, they're not a crazy arch. I wish we could have found a tree that had a little bit more, but they've got a little arch to them, and then we've got those brackets hanging down as well for a little bit of extra support. So all the theory is, if you drive over the center, weight comes down, pulls that arch down, which pushes the arch out, which tightens the cable more, which lifts up on the center. Well, I guess the next thing I need to do is snug these up to pull those back down for the time being. I'm gonna go grab an impact though. I don't feel like fighting out with the wrench. We'll just run it up as far as we can, cut it, run it, cut it, run it. I gotta trim this bracket just a little bit. I drilled that daggone thing way too close to the... Oh yeah, she's snugged up super tight now. I'm pretty happy with that. I want to trim these cables up too while I'm here. And that way too, if somebody's just like running their hand along here, they don't run into it and stab themselves. Very nice. Very nice. So that all snugged up really nice. I'm really happy with the way that's working. You can see that come up just a little bit, and then as I tighten those bolts, it compressed that. So there's a lot of strength, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, hidden in there. And it feels a lot better just walking across and jumping. It already feels a lot better as well. Not that it felt bad before, but it feels like an improvement. One last thing I want to try to knock out is how we do this approach. I'm nervous about it, but I got a plan. People are asking how the tubes are doing. Great. I have not added air to these tires since I've done it. I still think I need to add a little air just on the initial air up. They might still be a touch low, but I haven't had to add anything. Before I had to add air like every 3 hours, honestly. only a fella had the backhoe. The idea is when the 555's done, we'll come in and we'll bench this whole thing out so a fella can come in and bring a nice turn in. Cut tires are doing awesome. I can tell they're performing way better than what they were prior to that. That's just that sticky, nasty, slimy clay, and it's doing way better than it used to. This is going to work great. Any water coming down the hill is just going to run off of that and go left or right. So now I just got to weld up some kind of approach, and I've got a little bit of an idea, and that's going to be the next video. Here it is from this side. It's looking great. You want to see what I end up doing for the little steel approach there over that little trough we made? You just gotta have to stay tuned, stay subscribed, and check it out. It's the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one. I need the tractor.